Hello, guys. Welcome to AMC Prep Talks. So, today we are going to do the urinary tract infection and asymptomatic bacteriuria in pregnancy. It is the continuation of our UTI series. And I have in previous videos, I have covered the urinary tract infection in non pregnant adults that are acute cystitis and acute pyelonephritis. And now we have to do it during pregnancy. And urinary tract infection is a very common problem that is seen in pregnancy. And pregnancy is actually a higher situation for the urinary tract infection, and it can result in worst outcomes in pregnancy. That is a preterm labor, and other complications can also present when the urinary tract infection or simply asymptomatic bacteriuria is not treated during pregnancy. So without further ado, let's start our video. So there is an antenatal screening for asymptomatic bacteriuria during pregnancy, and it is done at 12 to 16 weeks, and it identifies 80% of the cases of asymptomatic bacteriuria. And if there is the signs of there is an asymptomatic bacteriuria, we have to confirm it with culture and susceptibility, and we can also confirm it with second urine culture. So the treatment of asymptomatic bacteriuria is necessary because it increases the risk for low birth weight and preterm labor. And after the results of susceptibility, the following drugs are used to treat the asymptomatic bacteriuria, that is nitrofurantoin or amoxicillin or cephalexin. So keep that in mind, that asymptomatic bacteriuria, that is the patient do not have any symptoms of UTI, but on a lab investigation, there is the increased number of bacteria on the urinalysis. So you have to treat this condition in pregnancy. In other circumstances, it is not treated. And another case where has to be done a urological procedure. So these are the two conditions where asymptomatic bacteriuria is treated. So after susceptibility, the treatment of asymptomatic bacteriuria during pregnancy is done with nitrofurantoin or amoxicillin or cephalexin. Then we have acute cystitis in pregnancy. If the patient complains of UTI symptoms during pregnancy, that is increased frequency, urgency, or burning micturition, suprapubic pain, so these are the symptoms of acute cystitis, and the patient complains of acute cystitis in pregnancy. And the lower back pain is also another symptom of UTI during pregnancy. So while awaiting culture, the patient presents to you with the symptoms. We have to start her with on nitrofurantoin or cephalexin or fosfomycin. And after the culture report, if pathogen is resistant to any of the above drug and is susceptible to amoxicillin, then we are going to give the amoxicillin plus clavulanate. We are going to give amoxicillin or the combination of amoxicillin or clavulanate, right? And if the patient is susceptible to trimethoprim, and we have to consider it in second and third trimester because it affects the folate metabolism. So trimethoprim cannot be given in the first trimester. It has to be given during the second or third trimester if it is susceptible. And in case of nitrofurantoin, in the last trimester, the patient is not put on nitrofurantoin. We have to avoid nitrofurantoin after 37 weeks because there is a risk of neonatal jaundice and hemolysis. So nitrofurantoin is not to be given after 37 weeks, and trimethoprim is not to be given in the first trimester, and it can be given in second and third trimester if they are susceptible. Then we have the acute pyelonephritis. If the patient has symptoms of acute pyelonephritis, that is the flank pain and nausea, vomiting, and fever. So these are the symptoms of acute pyelonephritis. And acute pyelonephritis in pregnancy is associated with adverse pregnancy outcomes. So it is managed with initial IV therapy, and E. coli is the most common cause. In the case of acute pyelonephritis, aminoglycosides are preferred over cephalosporin. So the treatment would be IV gentamicin or tobramycin plus amoxicillin or ampicillin. Genta or Tobra plus amoxi or ampicillin. or if the patient has to be put on for 72 hours, has to be put on every IV therapy, and it is likely to continue for 72 hours or long, so ceftriaxone monotherapy can also be used. Severe hypersensitivity reaction is if there is a history with severe hypersensitivity reaction with Genta and tobramycin, single drug given with single drug, we have to seek the expert advice. And after the IV therapy, the patient symptoms have improved, then we have to shift towards the oral therapy. And oral therapy can be given of amoxicillin or cephalexin or amoxiclavulinate. And if the patient has severe hypersensitivity reaction to penicillin, in second and third trimester, we can give ciprofloxacin or trimethoprim plus sulfate. So, but these has to be given in second and third trimester. So the total duration of therapy for the acute pyelonephritis in pregnancy is 7 to 10 days. And we have to confirm the resolution by repeat culture. After the UTI symptoms have resolved, we have to confirm the resolution by repeat culture 1 to 2 weeks after the treatment, only during pregnancy. But in non-pregnant adults, we do not have to confirm the resolution of the UTI by either urinalysis or culture. But in pregnancy, we have to repeat culture to confirm the resolution of symptoms.